Alright, enough is enough. It's time to get back into your reading era. Come on, let's do it together. Hello my friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Kim. I'm so excited you're here with me today. I love books and wellness. For today's book chat, we're going to keep it short and sweet because, well, I'm in the middle of eating lunch, but my AC turned off, so we need to get this recorded before it turns back on. So because of that, we are going to quickly talk about how I add more reading into my everyday. Let's do it. Today I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips on how I add reading into my days. The first tip is I add reading into my mornings. So when I wake up in the morning, instead of grabbing my phone and scrolling like so many people do, I don't let myself touch my phone at all. I actually pick up a book. I tend to pick up a nonfiction book so I don't get too pulled into the story, or a poetry book. And I read for typically about 10 to 15 minutes just to help my brain wake up, to start myself on a really good note, and to start my day with some reading, because then I feel accomplished already. I feel ready to tackle the day. Plus, it gives my brain a little bit of time to wake up before I have to actually go and do stuff. Sorry, there's like a million sirens going right now. Like a million. Anyways, tip number 2 for how I add more reading into my day is I have started to schedule in a reading block in my afternoons. So it may be around my lunchtime, so like for my lunch break, or it may be after I have my work finished for the day before I have to do like my evening chores and dinner prep and all that kind of stuff. So I've been scheduling in 30 minutes to an hour of reading into my afternoons, and by scheduling in my reading, it kind of ensures that like I get it done. It kind of makes it seem like it's an appointment in my book and it's not something I can miss, and it's helping me really to build the habit because, like I said, I've been struggling with reading lately, and by making it part of my everyday routine, it helps me to actually read. And then I find that when I read in the afternoon, I enjoy it a little bit more because I'm not so tired from the day that I can actually enjoy the story. So by scheduling in a little bit of reading during my lunch hour or during my free hour after I'm done with my work for the day, I can enjoy my reads and get a little bit more in. Another thing that I've just started doing, which for me I struggle with because audiobooks aren't actually reading, but you are getting the book experience, so I will count it in this video as a way to add more reading into your life, but it's technically listening in my mind because you are listening, but I will count it as reading because you are getting the book experience. So I've been adding audiobooks into my days a little bit. Like I said, I'm new to audiobooks. I'm literally listening to my first one right now, and I'm using it as like a reread refresher of a book that I've read in the past. That book 2 came out, so now I want to refresh book 1 before I read book 2. So I'm listening to book 1 and I'm adding it into my day just in little spurts. I am doing some like de-wallpapering. I'm taking some wallpaper down, so I've been listening to it while I've been taking the wallpaper down, which makes that project go so very fast. And I've also been trying to do it a little bit more like when I'm in the shower or like when I'm doing the dishes, just during some life chores that typically I would maybe put on some music or put on like some TV. Instead, I've been putting on my audiobook, and it's been adding some fun more reading into my day, and it helps me get a little bit of a different reading experience, which has been quite fun. Another way that I think it's really convenient to add more reading into your day is to have an ebook app on your phone. So if you have a Kindle, have the Kindle app, or you can use whatever ebook app you like, or your local library ebook app. By having an ebook app on my phone, it means I literally always have a book with me. So if I have random downtime, if I end up having to wait in a line or wait for an appointment or get stuck waiting for someone that I care about or whatever it is, I always have a book with me. So instead of going to social media and scrolling, I go to my book and I start reading. So it's a little, as an introvert, you feel less awkward that you're like in a public space without anything to do. But I don't love scrolling all the time because, one, like, I accidentally turn on the volume all the time and like that gets attention. I don't want that. And 2, like, I'm just not the biggest scroller. So by having an ebook on my phone at all times, it basically guarantees I always have a book with me, and then I can sneak like 5 minutes of reading in here, 3 minutes of reading in there, 10 minutes of reading in here, and like it's really convenient and it's really great. And then the final way I add reading into my day is by using it as my go-to wind down hobby and then going to other ones if it doesn't work. So I found that in the past I'd be like, I don't really know if I want to read, so I'd like go and start doing something else. Instead, what I've been doing is when I'm not sure if I want to read or not in like the evenings, I will start by reading, and if it's just not grabbing my attention, then I'll move on to my other hobbies, whether it be crafting or YouTube or watching a movie or whatever it might be. I start by reading first. So this helps me to add more reading in, because then I get a little bit read even if I'm not feeling it. And I often find that I do want to keep reading, so even if I think like I'm not really in the mood, once I start, I tend to find out that actually maybe I am in the mood, and I end up reading a lot more than I thought I originally planned to. So that works out really, really well for me. And with all of these combined, I find that I get a lot more reading done throughout the day than I really like know that I even do. By sneaking in little snippets here and there, it helps me just get a little bit in and make me feel accomplished without making it feel daunting. And by making it my go-to number one hobby, it gives me the chance to read before I go and I do something else. So yeah, those are a couple ways that I try to add more reading into my every single day, and I would love to hear how you guys do it. Do you guys do similar things to me, or do you do something different? Let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know what you're currently reading. I'm currently reading The Night and the Moth. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited to see you guys in my next one. Live well, read lots of good books, and go discover, my friends. Bye! If you guys are still here, I want you to comment down below, and I just want you to comment one of the book emojis. Any of the book emojis.